At Silver Pines Assisted Living, life moved slowly and predictably. It was a place designed to avoid sharp turns and sudden emotions. People came there not to begin new stories, but to preserve what already existed. Eleanor Brooks, 68, quietly disrupted that order. She noticed small things, the pauses in conversations, the way light shifted in the afternoons. Her inner world had not agreed to grow old. Her husband, Frank Brooks, 72, was her anchor. Calm and steady, he kept their life grounded. Stability to him was love. When Eleanor began to change, Frank felt it immediately. She stayed longer in the garden, smiled more often, returned to dresses she hadn't worn in years. In a place where every detail was visible, these changes raised questions. Frank began to look for an affair. He watched the men around them. Those who lingered too close, those who chose the seat beside Eleanor at dinner. Rumors pointed to someone within the community, but none of it truly made sense. At the same time, Jake Miller, 29, was already working at Silver Pines. A young nurse, attentive and composed, he spoke to residents as equals. With Eleanor, he often stayed longer, not out of duty, but out of conversation. They talked about books, journeys, choices that once defined her life. He listened as if her story was still being written. An administrative review came suddenly. Security footage revealed the truth. No resident was involved. The situation was delicate, and the risk was enough. Jake was dismissed. He left the job, but not Eleanor's life. Jake continued to visit her, bringing bouquets and taking her beyond the walls of Silver Pines. Out for coffee, to the water, to places where time felt open again. Their connection remained quiet and deep, free of promises or declarations. Eleanor did not leave Frank. She knew herself too well. Over time, Jake began spending time with both of them. He sat at their table, listened to shared memories, smiled at stories shaped by decades together. The tension softened. One evening, Eleanor said to her husband, "You keep me real. Without you, I might fall into imagined stories. Easy to create, hard to survive." Frank said nothing. He understood. There had been betrayal, but an emotional one. Conscious, contained. Life at Silver Pines returned to its familiar rhythm, and Eleanor knew. Sometimes loyalty isn't the absence of feeling, but the courage to stay grounded, while the heart is still capable of dreaming.